I'm Courtney. I have been on Poshmark for 3.5 years and I have sold over $11,000 in clothes. I wanted to jump on today for those of you who are just getting on Poshmark and talk a little bit about my journey and how to use the app to the best of its ability. I have sold over $11,000 worth of items on Poshmark, and I have made just over $8,000 after Poshmark's fees. Poshmark is a US-based social selling app. You can sell men's, women's, kids' clothing, and household items. When the app first started, it was really just for women's clothing, and it has expanded so you can literally sell everything in your house. This is really great if you are a follower of Dave Ramsey and are looking to get debt-free or raise your emergency fund. You can do it really quickly on this app, spending $0. So I'm gonna tell you how. All right, I'm filming my screen, so bear with me because I don't know how to screen share all these fancy things. So this is what Poshmark on desktop looks like. I spend a lot of time here. I also spend a lot of time in the app. So when you sign up for Poshmark, you want to think about a few things. You want to fill out your bio information. You can put a link if you have a business or a website. And you also want to obviously post some clothes or items. You post clothes by category, and you do this by uploading to your closet. You can do this from your computer or the app. So right now I'm going to show you what it looks like on the computer. All right, so I'll go into a couple of my items so you guys can kind of see what I do. You have to upload your items in a square photo. This is very important when you're taking your pictures because if you take them in a general landscape or portrait mode, they're gonna get cut off. So I like to take my photos using the square mode on my phone. You can take pictures of your clothes a lot of different ways. People hang them up on a blank wall. People put them as a flat lay, which is what you see here. This is it laying on the ground. And you can also upload images of you wearing the item because people really love to see what it looks like on a person. Here's an example of a maternity dress. I took a photo of the front and the back as a flat lay and uploaded a photo of me wearing the item. You want to put the original price of the item. You don't have to. A lot of people will put $0 in this place, but it actually is really helpful for selling the item if people can see how much you're discounting it to sell. So you put the original price of the item. I will generally do Google research if I've had the item for a long time, don't remember how much it cost, or if I got it from a reseller or Goodwill. So this I actually bought from ASOS, so I knew how much it cost and I know how much I'm selling it for. I put a description. This is really important because people search descriptions with keywords. So I make sure to put things like V-neck, maternity dress, large bow, front leg slit. And then I also put worn once so people know what kind of condition it's in. People will leave comments. You can reply to these. You also see if you're offering any seller discounts, which you can set up in your profile. I'm offering 30% off if you buy 3 or more things. This shows that I have dropped the price of this item 50%. So this was originally listed at $60 and I have discounted it. This is standard Poshmark pricing, $7.11. It's pretty expensive. So people really have to want your items, or you have to be willing to offer a shipping discount, which means you eat the price. You have a place for news, which shows you people who have followed you, people who like your clothing, and people who have left comments and made offers. So people can make offers for any price that they are willing to pay for the item, and you can accept the offer or counter the offer. When you're ready to sell your clothes or items on Poshmark, this is what you do. If you're on desktop, you will see a Sell on Poshmark button. Click that. I'll also show you guys what this looks like on your phone. You upload photos from your files. So let's see if I can grab something that looks like close to show you guys. Okay, so I'm gonna select multiple photos, oops, of this blue BCBG dress. Do not use the filter function here. You can see there are a lot of different filters that will put different tones on your item. The reason you don't want to use this is because you want people to know exactly what the color of this item is. And if you use a different filter, it's going to change the color of the item and they may not be happy with their purchase. So you select a cover photo, you can crop and edit, and then you can take a look at all of the other photos that you've got here. You can see you have space for tons of photos. Feel free to add as many as you like. I don't add a ton because it's really time consuming and people kind of get the drift. All right, your title is going to want to properly explain what the item is you're selling. So I will say BCBG, and people put different styles in the way that they write their titles. I always do the brand name followed by an up and down line and then a description of the item. So I will then put baby blue bow tie mini shift dress. You want to put a lot of descriptors here for people to search it. Now, this is where I like to do a little bit of searching. I like to try to find my item online so I can get a good idea of the description of the item. Now I'm going to write a description of the item. I'm going to put baby blue shift dress with tie around neck. On Poshmark, people use a lot of acronyms. So EUC stands for excellent used condition, which means this item was worn a couple times and is still in great condition. I will put anything else in the description that people might want to know about the item, like the type of material it's made out of and the size. Now you choose a category. This is a women's item and it is a dress. Oops, that's not a dress. It is a dress, and then I'm going to put mini. If the description of the dress is not listed in one of these, you click none, and then it will just come up under dresses. Sometimes you might have multiple of the same item, especially if you're selling in bulk, but this is a single item, and then I select the size here. You can click if it's new with tags. If it is new with tags, I also put that here, and the acronym for new with tags is, you guessed it, NWT. I enter the brand, and most brands are already listed here. I will choose that, and actually now that this is listed in this way, I'm going to put BCBG Max Azria in my title. And I don't have enough letters, so I'm going to put it in my description. You do have a title character limit, so you don't want to put too many descriptors. Well, you can't, you'll run out. So put the things that are the most important. And I might take out mini and shift so I can put Max Azria in the title. All right. You can select up to 2 primary colors for your item. And then you want to put the pricing. So we'll put the original price for this dress, and then I will put the price that I am listing it to sell at. And this handy calculator will tell you what you will make after your earnings. So this is really helpful for you to be able to decide how much you want to make on the item. So if I'd like to make $100, I'm going to price it at $125. Availability, for sale, not for sale, and drops. So what drops are is if you want to promote an item that you are going to have for sale soon and you want to get people really excited about it, you can list it as a drop, and then you can choose a time within 7 days that the item will become available. This is really good if you have bulk items that sell out really fast. This is not something that you really need to do. Another new feature that I really love is these private additional details. No one else can see this, and I love it because what you can do here is you can put the cost that you paid for the item. I bought this dress at Macy's when BCBG was going out of business and got it for a really great price. What I would do is I would go look at my receipt and I would say, oh my gosh, I paid $35 for this item, and put that here for my reference. So I know I want to make my $35 back, so I never want this price after earnings to go under $35. All right, now I click next, and you have the option of connecting all of your social channels. So the item is listed on your social channels. You can list them to all. I like mine to go to Pinterest and Twitter. Now I click list and my item is live. If I go to my profile, which is my picture up here, click my closet from the drop down, I now see my dress listed here. I'm gonna move on and show you guys what it looks like to upload using the app. Click sell in the bottom center of the app. Then choose your pictures from your camera roll. Don't use the photo option in Poshmark. Take your pictures ahead of time to get the best clarity. You can choose up to 16 photos, and then you can crop and move them around to make sure they fit in the square space best. Remember, take your photos as a square first. Once you get your photos in, you then want to add your title. After you add your title, you then want to add the description of your item. This is where it's really helpful to Google and search for the description of your item as it was sold online. This gives you a lot more description words, and Poshmark uses keywords to deliver your items to people searching, so you want lots of descriptors. Now you select your category. This is a great example because I used a sweatsuit. Sweatsuit is not an option, so what I do is I choose sweatshirt and hoodies because anyone looking for a sweatshirt and hoodie should like a sweatsuit as well. You choose your colors, top two. I chose pink and purple because the sweatsuit's kind of in between both colors. Set your original price and your listing price, and then you'll see how much you'll make in earnings when it's sold. Share to your social networks or don't, and then you list your item. When I am shopping, I now keep the tags to everything. I don't throw them away. I keep them in a file because when I get ready to list the item on Poshmark, I want to be able to see the exact product name, what the original retail value was, and any other information that might be on that tag. So that's really helpful as you start shopping for your kids, your spouse, yourself. Keep those tags in an envelope or a folder so when you get ready to list it, you've got all the information. I'm going to scroll through my items so you can see some of the ways I have done shoots. Before we moved, I shot all over the place. You can see I shot on a dresser, I shot on a white piece of particle board or construction board. I shot outside on our patio, I shot inside. Oh, here's another good example. Sometimes you will find a picture of the item from the store, and you're not really supposed to upload a lot of these because it could be copyright infringement, but if you crop it a little bit, it actually is all right. So I don't recommend doing it all the time, but I did want to show you guys what it looks like, and I'm going to tell you the reason I did it on this listing. These pants are khaki. For whatever reason, I could not get the color to really show up on my pictures. You see how it looks really light, the floor is kind of washed out, the close-up is a little better, but I wanted to make sure that people could see exactly what the pants looked like. So I wanted to show them on this model. I don't do that a ton, but if for some reason my camera's not working well, I do it this way. I take all of my pictures on my iPhone and it works perfectly. Here are some of my listings, so you can kind of see how I style to take pictures. When I take pictures of shoes, if I have the box, I style the box behind. I will put in my notes, if you want the box, you must request it, because that means I have to find a bigger box to ship in if I include the box. The way you take your pictures and style your items really helps because people want to see something that looks really nice and will make them want to buy it. So if the photo is dim, or here's a good example, there's a shadow. This is not the best photo I took. I actually could probably change it to the stock photo instead, but you can see how I've laid my things out here. And you can see all the items that I've sold here down at the bottom. The most important part of selling on Poshmark is sharing your own items. You will see things that say share other people's items. That's fine because it might get them to share your items back. But honestly, the way I have seen the most success is sharing my items. I share my items multiple times a day. It is time intensive and time consuming, but this is the thing that makes you money on the app. The other thing that makes you money on the app is sharing the items to your social media pages. So those are the two most important things. Now I'll talk about what happens when you make a sale. When you make a sale, you will get an email from Poshmark. Inside the email, it will say you just sold an item or items. It will show you what the items are, how much you sold them for, and what your total earnings will be. You do have to pay sales tax now on top of the Poshmark fee. Poshmark will send you a label and you open this up and print it out. Some people buy label makers. I just print. Actually, I'll show you guys my even more Dave Ramsey paper saving hack for printing. So you send the item to your printer and it is going to normally print out in the center of an 8.5-11 sheet of paper. But here is my Poshmark hack. I get a bunch of pieces of paper. I fold them in half. Well, I fold one in half. Cut it, rip it, do whatever you gotta do to get 2 sheets of paper this size. I then get a whole stack of paper and I line it up and I cut a whole bunch of paper so I have a big stack of paper that are half the size of a piece of standard 8.5-11 piece of paper. Then I take this to the printer. I'm gonna show you what I do. All right, side note, printers are really inexpensive now at Walmart. I highly recommend, if you don't have a printer and you're trying to get into selling online, invest in one. You can get one for $50, especially right around the holidays, and ink can be bought from reused ink stores, much cheaper than the original branded ink. So this is probably the one thing you need to buy if you don't have a printer. I take my cut in half sheets of paper, I put them in my printer, and then I move the guidelines in. Now, when you print your Poshmark label, it's going to come out right in the center of this piece of paper, thus getting you 2 Poshmark labels for every 1 sheet of paper. My daughter spit up on my clothes, so I've changed. I wanted to share the last piece, shipping. Once you print your label, this is the other free hack. The post office gives away free priority mail boxes and envelopes. The boxes come in a handful of different sizes, from small to really large, and the envelopes are this standard size. I also save all my Amazon boxes, so if I buy anything, I save the box, so I have boxes to ship things out in. But you can always go to the post office, pick these up. I'll usually get like 25, 30 at a time, so I can have them around the house. And then I pack my items in this. If you're starting out with $0 investment, you can just pack your items right in these boxes. Poshmark does encourage you to make your package look nice, so they do encourage you to put it in some tissue paper or maybe in a poly, I don't know what those poly bags are called. But if you're starting out with a $0 investment, you don't want to buy any of that just yet. When you are ready to purchase, I have a couple of really good tips. I buy washi tape from the fabric store. It is generally just a couple of dollars and you'll get maybe 5 different tapes in an assorted container, and those last years because all you're doing is using one strip of washi tape to seal your tissue paper or close your poly bag. The other thing I do is I obviously save all my tissue paper from every gift I'm given, so I have lots of tissue paper. The best place to find tissue paper is TJ Maxx. It is the cheapest price for the most amount of sheets, and this is known around the Poshmark community as the best place to get cheap tissue paper. Also, the best place to get little bags is actually Walmart. I go in the aisle where the Ziploc bags are, and what you're looking for is a plain bag that doesn't have a Ziploc topper. It actually comes with those twist ties. So it's a twist tie plastic bag. It's large. Those are, I think, $1.99, 99 cents for 100 bags. And that's going to let you ship a lot of items, 100 items, with just spending a couple dollars. I do have to buy packing tape. I get my packing tape from Walmart. So you can start with a fairly low investment, but there are definitely some hacks to start with a $0 investment, and that is use tissue paper you have at home. If you don't have tissue paper, just put the item right in the bag. Get your packing envelopes and boxes from the post office and print your labels at home or maybe at a friend's house until you can get a printer. I like to make a budget with my Poshmark earnings because I do want to invest a little bit of my Poshmark earnings back into Poshmark. So I might need a small fund to buy packing tape, washi tape, bags, anything I might need. Well, that's my really quick get started on Poshmark. If you have any questions, definitely let me know. Please reach out to me. I am on all the social media at Mackie Lane, and I really look forward to hearing about your Poshmark journey. All right, good luck. Happy selling.